Hi, everybody. Just waiting for everything to come on live. Hello, how are you? So, start off the video as I do every day with a hi. I'm Tanya Baldwin. I'm from Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self. I'm a trauma wellness healer, and I do a collective oracle card reading, and then for the collective as well as individual card pulls for everybody. Part of my hi, Jeremy. How are you? I'm going to keep saying hi to everybody as they show up. So I do a collective reading and then I do individual card reading for people that would like a card pulled for them after I've done the individual collective reading. So if you want a card pulled, you have to put your name down and then you have to be patient and wait. Good morning, Zach. How are you? So the first card that I pulled is Building Block number 28, but I did pull it in the protection state. So let's see what the message is for that. So the essential meanings, and I always do the essential and the original meaning from the oracle card, and then I'll go into what the protection message is. So just pay attention to the protection message. So essential meaning, strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. The oracle's message. Oh, not sure why you're anxious this morning. Well, that's unfortunate. Do you have any techniques to help you get out of anxiety? Sometimes our anxiety is triggered from our other senses. So we could have smelled something. There could be a day that's just a reminder, or it could be just our thoughts are driving us into that fearful state. But one of the techniques that are really good that help with bringing you out of anxiety is doing this little figure 8 motion around your eyes. And you just keep following around in this pattern. You can go as fast around or slow. You can go opposite direction if that feels more comfortable. And the pressure, you can put whatever, like how harsh or just soft. But either way, just keep doing the figure 8 motion around your eyes, and it'll make you yawn. And that's because it's brought your parasympathetic nervous system on board. Okay, and that'll have you out of fight or flight and that anxiety state. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Okay, back to the cards. Better back to the glasses too. Good morning, Linda. How are you, love? Nice to see you this morning. Okay, so you're welcome. There's a few tips and techniques that I can give you. This is my fun part of my job, but I do. Yeah, this one's really, really good for reducing anxiety. Okay, so the oracle's message. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as a solid ground upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly remarkable and beautiful design. So because I pulled it in the protection state, this is the actual message of the card for this particular reading. And if you're on TikTok, if you tap on the screen, it gives the video likes, and the more likes that you get, the more outreach that it goes. So it'll reach more people. So if you want to get it out there so that other people can, maybe this message is for them too, that would be really cool. And my hair is like, Ontario changes my hair. Like you don't realize how different provinces, like the different moisture levels and stuff within provinces, alters your hair. So I have to figure out what to do with my hair because it gets very staticky and poofy in Ontario. So I'm sorry I play with my hair a lot. I apologize. All right, so the protection message of this card. Now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Perhaps your values have changed and it is time to strengthen your convictions and let go of things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is a time for rigorous honesty. You are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you did. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. So a really good message about really reviewing, like, where does our belief system come from? What is, what is our belief system tied to? Does it still hold true to us? I don't collaborate. Like, I don't bring people on my live. People can't be trusted, unfortunately. They've proven that in TikTok. You don't trust people and just bring them onto your live without knowing them. They will find a way to make it not a good live. Let's put it that way. So yeah, just reviewing why you're doing the things that you're doing, why you're looking for the things that you're looking for. Why are your values the way that you are? Why are your belief system? Because we should be challenging that all the time. We acquired our belief system from other people who had beliefs, and they passed those beliefs on to us, but we never question what is that belief? Where does it really truly come from? And does it hold true to me? Is it something that benefits me to continue to believe that? So the next card that I pulled for the collective is number 58, Vanishing Mirror. Now, I did pull 2 cards from this particular deck today, because when I was going to pull the card, I went for the one and then went for the other. And then I thought, I don't know if I was asking the right question. So I refocused, because the card seemed to not really fit, but I know how it fits in now. So it needed a second card is all. So do you ever wonder if self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We're all products of our conditioning. So remember that this is part of the human experience. Yet you are not meant to remain static, seeking only what you expect. Even if it appears ambitious, it is still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself this way, you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out, removing the magic of possibility. I will write you on the list, Alexandria. It does not show. So I'm glad that you told me what your name was. So if you want your name on the list for a card pull, just let me know. And I start a list as soon as people start asking for it. And then I just go in order. So you might have to wait a little bit to get to it, but I do go through all the names, and we'll pull a card for you if you want that. So imagine looking into a mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil to your potential, a magical emptiness exists where all things are possible. What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself now? Look again. Who could you be? Olivia, I'll put you on the list, love. Okay, what would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself? Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation, in service to the divine. Doesn't it feel good? Well, you have to know that everywhere inside, that's not true love. That's them, right? A transformational fire would love a. Oh, I'll put you on the list, Krista. You were born enough. You were enough every moment of your life. So the other card that I want to read is number 3, because this puts a little bit of a. So this is about, when you're reaching. When you let go, right? Let go of the stuff that's holding you back, right? Those belief systems, some of those things that we acquired not because we wanted to. It's kind of like, when your parents were really pushing you that you needed to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. Like, you had to have those levels of ambitions. You had to be a certain way. Society telling you, that these are the ways that you need to be popular, or to show up, or to have success, or to be attractive. Like, we have all these things that limit us in how we show up in the world. And as the more that we hold true to, the harder that it is for us to just be our authentic self, right? And when you peel back all the layers of what everybody else has put on you with their shoulds and coulds and name callings and limiting beliefs that they gave to you, and you step into your true self, then this is what's the potential for you, that benefactor. Okay. So the benefactor is grace and generosity. And I'll read him, but first I want to read the other cards that are supporting this, and then explain the lovely little benefactor. So the Ace of Cups, new connections, new romantic relationships, friendships, seeds of love and hope, newfound emotions, awakening the heart, joy, positive outcomes, oneness, bliss, and creativity. An extremely positive message of vibrant beginnings. The Ace of Cups marks the genesis of relationships, emotional connections, and deep feelings of love and friendship. Your emotions are powerful magic. Cultivate your ability to call on expansive, optimistic, and profoundly radiant feelings, and consciously send your heart waves out into the world. They will become powerful beacons for awakening new adventures, romance, and the effusive joy that you are calling into your life. Your capacity for love is expanding, so check in and make sure you aren't repressing your ability to connect with others as a result of being overly protective. It's like that message in here says, if we keep going in the familiar, right? Staying with the familiar isn't always the best, especially when the familiar, if you're from a toxic environment, if you're used to being in a toxic environment and you keep seeking out that toxic environment because it's familiar, then you're never going to evolve or get out of that or get to safety, right? Because even safety, when presented to somebody who's lived in a consistently unsafe environment, safety is unfamiliar. So they won't even go for that, right? That's why we keep repeating and seeing the repeated patterns in our life, is until we heal that part of us that feels like we deserve that kind of treatment that we're getting. We'll keep seeking out environments and people and places that will make us continue to feel like that, right? We'll keep sabotaging our progress, or we'll, keep getting into relationships with people that keep telling us that we're worthless, or that keep making us feel like we're crap. And we just keep repeating them until we know ourselves we aren't, until we love ourselves enough that we align with people who will treat us with the same love and value that we place on ourselves. And we'll stand up and we'll say, we'll have boundaries that we'll put in place when they don't. So that's the whole importance of, so your capacity for love is expanding. So check in and make sure you aren't repressing your ability to connect with others as a result of being overly protective. Mindfully extend the love you feel to your own heart as well. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. You didn't know. Good morning, Jenny. You didn't know what you didn't know when you didn't know it. You can't punish yourself for what you know now, because the person that you are now is not the person that you were when the stuff happened. You weren't the same person. So don't punish yourself for the things that you didn't know, right? Forgive yourself for past mistakes and find a fountainhead for healing. With copious amounts of self-acceptance, get ready to expand. Exciting affinities are emerging, and it's time to open up and give yourself permission to deepen your kinship with the life around you. My heart is open and filled with love. Yeah, sometimes we get, like, a lot of times those big things, changes in our lives. So someone had said that they recently immigrated and it led to go through a spiritual awakening. And it's, things like that, those big transitions in life can trigger us into some of the biggest healing that we go through. So we'll look at the benefactor. And then I pulled because I said we were going to learn about astrology from this deck. So I pulled a card from there as well. The card that I pulled from this deck is the Sagittarius card for expand, and which is interesting because Wednesday's new moon is in Sagittarius. It does say, if you look at some calendars, it says Scorpio, but that's because early in the day, for most of the day, it's in Scorpio, and it's at 2100 hours or whatever, it goes into Sagittarius, and then the new moon is at 22 something. So it's actually in Sagittarius on Wednesday, and I'm also Sagittarius. So I'm enjoying listening about Sagittarius, or learning about Sagittarius. So Sagittarius asks us to think big, travel far, and use our restlessness and curiosity to create. A mutable fire sign, Sagittarius' symbol is that of the centaur, half human, half horse, which epitomizes the connection between humans and the natural wild world. Sagittarius, ruled by expansive Jupiter, rules the thighs, the muscles that propel our movement. The sun shines in Sagittarius from November 22nd to December 21st. Action. Sagittarius has two imperatives. Expand your perspective and humbly speak your truth. So let your perspective become versatile, flexible, and curious. Travel in the body or in the mind and explore a larger philosophical, environmental, or metaphysical context for this situation. Imagine you are on a mountaintop, look down at your life from 1,000 feet up. Now take it further, like the astronauts who look down on our spinning green and blue globe and see no borders between countries. You are a global citizen. Change your life to reflect this reality. Speak your truth. Remember the fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes? A pair of con artists arrive at the emperor's court claiming to make beautiful garments. They say their creations are only visible to people of quality. Incompetent people can't see the clothes. No one in the emperor's court wants to admit they can't see the supposedly intricate garments. And the emperor wears his new clothes on parade. Only one honest Sagittarian-style boy speaks up without rancor, states the obvious, the emperor is naked, and breaks the spell. Ask what spell you need to break and speak up. Challenge. Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to say it. Timing and pacing are everything. Be honest, not mean. Ask if what you're about to say is wise, kind, and necessary, as well as true. Watch out for the geographical cure, the belief that travel will solve problems, because wherever you go, there you are. And the gift, honor all your relationships. Sagittarius reminds us that our spiritual path is connected to all our relations, the two-footed, four-footed, many-legged, winged, scaled, and finned, and they are all connected to us. So really interesting, or I enjoy learning about the astrology through those cards, and I think that it still does support the message that's here. So the other card that I pulled, because I said I had pulled two cards from this one deck today, the other card was the benefactor, right? And it talks about grace and generosity. So this is a great message for us all, and we'll see how it ties everything together. So when the benefactor weaves her energy into your life, you're put on notice that all manner of positive reinforcement is coming your way. The universe wants to let you know that just as you've been generous with others, serving with your gifts, even in the smallest capacity, so will you be rewarded in a myriad of ways. The most beautiful gift the benefactor gives you is the recognition that you are stewarding and sharing abundance on behalf of a higher source, one that is always working through you. The motives for her generosity to you as well as to others are intangible, although you will see the results reflected in the material world. The benefactor reminds you that it's in the purity of your desire to share without the need for reciprocity that paradoxically your initial generosity is reciprocated tenfold, seemingly without any connection to the original act. Dream sharing and caring into being, and you will be amazed to see this vibrant seed take root and spread. Do it just because, and the benefactor will give you her blessing. And that's a huge point, right? Most of us, there's something tied to it. There's a contingency factor, right? Or I'm doing this for you because I'm hoping that this is returned to me. And that's not true giving, right? So that's what the benefactor is asking. So look at, when we're looking at the building blocks, okay? So we're looking at that and the protection. So we want to make sure that we're looking at any cracks in our foundation. We're reviewing our belief system, making sure that they still hold true, right? We want to look at that, why is our ego the way that it is, and maybe let the ego go, right? When we let the ego go, that's when we're going to definitely call in the benefactor, because the benefactor is that non-egotistical giving and receiving, right? It's that I'm doing this. So like my cards this morning, I don't get money for it, right? I don't charge a fee for any of the card pulls that happen in the morning. So I'm just giving of that to people. I'm just providing that opportunity to get a message that maybe will give you clarity within your life. So something would come back to me for that, because I'm not doing this with the intention of asking for an exchange of money, right? So that's the kind of giving that it's talking about, right? And then we're looking at the beginning, at starting, at growing, and emotionally too, because cups are definitely the emotional energy. And then finally with Sagittarius, which is just asking you just expand your horizons, whether that's, reach out to the people in your life, make sure that that circle that's around you is whole, and that it even includes your animals, right? I love up on my dog all the time because he's just beautiful, beautiful less little heart that he has, right? But I get out in nature to connect with nature, to ground me, to help me with my emotions as well, right? And hello, beautiful lady. So yeah, I hope that all of that together is a good message for somebody. It was a bit longer for the original message, but sometimes the cards say this is what we need to see, and that's what we get. That's what we get. So hello, ladies. Now I'm on to the wonderful individual card pulls. So far, I have 3 on the list. I have my beautiful Alexandria, then Olivia, and Krista. So that's the order that the 3 cards will come in. Hello, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ladies. And I'll put Anne-Marie on. And I have a funny feeling that Tanya's going to ask for one too. Now that I know pretty sure I'm right. Yep. Perfect. And do you have, do you have an ego if you feel less then? Oh, definitely, Linda. I'll put you on there for a card. And yes, hugging a tree is like one of the best things you can it's one of the best things that you can do for like grounding, for sure. And Amy, you definitely can be on the list, dear. Okay. Aww, that's so awesome. Love you, ladies. I love you, ladies. Just beautiful. Aw, perfect. Aw, I love you too. I will put you on the list, Isla. I'm gonna call you Isla. I don't know if that's your name fully, but I'll put you on the list, okay, dear. And Jenny, yes, Jenny. Sorry, Jenny, and then Isla. You did come in just a moment before Isla. There. Okay. Oh, I love you. I don't think you should feel silly at all, right? The tree is so they're grounded, right? And underneath, the tree's roots actually reach out, especially if in the woods, and they're all intermingled, the roots between all the trees. So you actually get connected to a network of roots that are grounded firmly into the earth, right? The other thing with grounding, if you can get your bare feet on the earth, and I feel like you're a little more south than me, I'm getting snow. It is snowing outside. It's beautiful, but it's snowing. And I'm not going to go stick my feet on the bare ground. In Canada, it's important to have things like grounding mats in the house in the winter time so that you can still do the grounding. But yes. Okay. So first card, Alexandria. Flexible. In protection mode. So let's get straight to the message. Alexandria. I appreciate everyone's patience while we go through the collective reading and get to the collective. Yes. Oh, it's like I said, it's snowing. It's like the postcard, picture perfect day out there for a Christmas postcard. So Alexandria, the protection message of this card. When you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose the access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. Rigidity will set you up for a fight where there could only be losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. So that's a lot of reflecting on your thing, right? So like a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, right? So where as a rigid structure, like a building, would come crashing down. So it's just asking you to like lean into that flexibility, and just bend and flow with things, and just make sure that you're not holding too fiercely to the one side, because you could create like friction definitely through that. So yeah, I don't even know if you're still on, but if you are, let me know. Let me know what you think of that. Okay. What you think about that? Are you having a little bit of conflict where it needs to maybe be a little bit more flexible, right? Okay. So Olivia, this will be your card, dear. I hope you hung it out. Yeah, I love communing with nature. Olivia, new life in protection. So let's see what new life and protection is all about. I'm going to try to go through these a little faster. We get more card pulls if we go through them faster. Get back to 39. So new life, birth of ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. Now, the protection message, Olivia, you must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you may not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. Oh yeah, mountains are amazing for healing energy, for sure. So I don't know did that seem to resonate with you at all, Olivia? I like it when I get feedback on how the card feels, or if there's any questions about how the card feels, I can always intuit more from it for you. But yeah, so. Yeah, it's a very good time for you with things starting. But I think, all of us can listen to the message about keeping that beginner's mind, because a beginner's mind is absolutely essential for learning, right? We learn so much easier when we keep a beginner state of mind. So this is for Krista. I hope you're still there. Maybe you had to run and teach, or, start doing something fantastic, exploring your world out there. But this will be for you, Krista. Interesting. So maybe be a little more flexible. Always, whenever I have conflict, the way that I review, I look, and this is what I encourage my clients to do, is to look at what is the relationship, how much does it mean to you, because that's going to depend on how much you're willing to put in to address any conflict or any issues that are within that relationship, right? And the whole thing is looking at, what do I want? What is my outcome for this relationship? So if the outcome for the relationship is to keep it intact and have, a good connection at the end of it, then you're going to work harder to make sure that you're coming up with a good compromise and you're being flexible in what you're asking for. But sometimes we need to recognize that friendships and relationships, they're all here for a lesson and experience. Some come for the lifetime, but for a lot of us, if you think about who you know now versus who you knew 10 years ago, there probably is a shift, unless you haven't changed at all, right? Because normally when you're evolving and changing, you evolve into being around new people, right? We change, and our circles around us change as we go through that growth. So Krista, again, in protection state, TikTok this time, number 30. So let's see what number 30 in protection is. So normally I would read like the whole oracle message and stuff like that, and I would go through everything and then read the protection message. But today I'm just going to do that quick little essential meanings, and then I'll read the protection meaning, and I won't go through all of it, but I'll do some little chatting about it in the end. So timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. Protection message. Have you been feeling as if the clock is ticking and gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There is nothing to fear. You will never run out of time for the important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You're in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine and appropriate timing. You can relax. So I mean, for all of us, right? We get impatience waiting for the results of all the work that we've been putting out there. I do sometimes. I try to remind myself it's all in divine timing. It'll happen when it happens, but it's okay. Just keep doing the work every day, being consistent, and stuff will generate from that consistency. Things will happen. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference too, right? When we're dealing with people with toxic behaviors, right? The flexibility might be just being, more flexible for you and putting yourself first, right? We can't, like, there's no reason why we should be tolerating or staying with people consistently long term when they're not showing growth, right? There has to be growth, and there has to be, that evolution through some, like, those toxic behaviors that, yeah, you don't have to keep anybody in your life if they're not of like solid benefit. You've only got one life, right? You've only got one. So this card is for Anne and then Tanya. The Anne-Marie and then Tanya and then Linda. Oh, it is so hard. It is so hard. You see the state of my hair today? No, I'm just kidding. It's so hard. And there's a lot of cards in protection today. I guess they just wanted to be that way. So exchanging gifts, number 27 in protection. Yeah, we choose how our life is, right? Like, as much as people hate when you say that, but we actually control our lives. So by that point, if I have friends in my life that treat me like crap or don't support me or make me feel bad about myself, who keeps allowing them to be in my life? So who's made that a reality for me? So who can change that? Right? So you control your life. If I have a crappy job, who goes to that job every day? Who chose to work there? Who chooses to continue to work there? Who can choose, right? So if I have a crappy relationship, who chooses to stay? That doesn't mean that the choices aren't hard. I'm not saying the choices aren't hard, or they may sometimes feel like they're impossible choices because we need money to survive. So you may feel like you're stuck in that job because you need money so that you can pay, right? So that you can pay for the life that you live. So you may feel stuck because of that. But in the end, you really are the one that has the choice to change. And the way that the change needs to start is obviously within you. Because if you think that you're lazy, you think that you're unsuccessful, you think you're always going to have a problem with money, you think that you're unworthy, you think that you're, a terrible person, you think that bad things happen to you. If you have all these thoughts in your head, what do you think you do about it in your life? You make it happen. You make it all come true. You go around and say, well, I'm not worthy, so I'm going to go find a man that's going to teach me just how unworthy he thinks I am. He's going to show me it in so many ways. Oh, well, I'm unworthy, or I'm not successful. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a job where I'm never going to be a success at, that is always going to keep me down. I'm going to go work in a male dominated field, let's say, because I know I'll never be promoted. And then I can blame the system. But it's actually me that chose to work in a place I knew I'd never get a raise because I'm not the right gender, as an example of a weird one, but still, right? We do that. We choose it all. So back to you, Anne. Back to you. Exactly. What you think about, you bring about. Yep, exactly. So the essential meaning of the of the number 27, exchanging gifts. It is so like out of funk today. I was saying this earlier, like the difference in my hair in Alberta and Ontario is just such a huge change because there's so much more moisture here. So my hair gets bigger and it almost like it gets almost like this little bit of like a frizzy kind of like texture to it. So I put more moisturizer in it, but then now I feel like it's like almost greasy. Just hair worries since I moved. I have to figure out my new process, like what's the new stuff to do to make it make me happy with it. Maybe I just need to go to the salon. It's been a while. So Anne, the law of giving and receiving, currency trade-offs, weighing costs, and determining value. But it was in the protection state, so this is the message. Be careful what you pray for because you might just get it and then realize you don't want to face the hefty price tag that comes with it. You may find yourself in a situation you've always desired, but know you will have to walk away from or even fail at it because you can't or won't pay the dues it asks of you. If you want to be a famous musician, you have to practice your craft every day. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Even a windfall bears a cost. It's okay, though, because spirit will help you achieve balance over time. Another message here reminds you that being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in your life where you find yourself in victim mode, in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. Others may push you to continue to prove yourself. The time has come to go the distance. The time has come to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Being aware of the need for both give and take is the first step to your true destiny. It's all good and getting better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result of this. Nice, in Saskatchewan. I blew through there on the 29th, I think, of October. No, maybe the 29th of October. 29th of October. You'd gotten snow the week before, and I went through on the dry moment. Yeah, I think I need to put it in a braid today. Hi, I can put you on the list for a card. I should put this one back in there. Let me know how that felt for you, Anne. But yeah, when you step, the big part of that is thinking that life happens to you or you have no control over your life. That's that victim mode, right? Is thinking that everything happens to you. And Carol. Okay, so this card's for Tanya, which always makes me feel weird. Saying my name. Say my name. So I had this weird thing happen. So when I feel like the universe is conspiring against me, right? It definitely will throw you right out of the province. What was I saying? Oh my God, I totally lost my mind. Hi, Desiree. Well, I can ask the cards and see what they tell us. We'll see if we get a message that, kind of speaks of something like that. So Linda, this is your card. And then after Linda is Amy, and then Jenny, Isla, Carol, and Desiree. Okay. If anyone else wants a card, let me know. Hi, Maris. I didn't even see you in there. Hello, dear. Came in between everybody else's. But hello, Marie. It's Tanya's right now. It's Tanya's right now. This little dude peeking out here. Woohoo. Regeneration in protective mode. Let's see. Hi, Renee. Nice. Another Saskatchewan. And Tracy, I will definitely put you on the list, my dear. Okay. Regeneration, number 46. And protection mode. So the essential meaning is rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. But you want to pay attention to this. This is a protection message. Endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. And we always get tied up with like death or with the end of something, right? Whether, and this could speak to like anything. It could be, you know, a direction that you had thought in mind, or a new career that you thought, or a new hobby that you picked up, or a relationship message. Like, it doesn't have to be as deep as, you know, it's telling you to leave your relationship. But it could be telling you to do that. Or maybe a relationship that's ended, you're holding too firmly onto, and just need to recognize it's done, it's over, just let it go, because the next thing that's coming in is going to be way better, right? We get so scared about that. But think about your past. And I tried this too, like, right? Like we get lessons, but we evolve through those lessons, right? That first lover, he might teach you something about yourself, and then you grow and evolve. And then the next person that you meet, you're a little bit stronger. You're a little bit more, I'm me, this is what I like. And so then that next person is a little more aligned to that, but there's still issues, say. And then it goes to, but you're always evolving and getting more closer to the true you, which is going to align you with the true love. Right? Because you have to love yourself truly, fully, all of it, and be authentically you to align with somebody who loves themselves truly, authentically, and as them true selves. Right? So time to let them go. And it's hard, right? If we hold on to something, we can't let that space open up for something else. And I have a motto in my life now, after all the healing that I've done, and it's in or out. Just don't block the doorway, because you block the flow of traffic. And I just want what's meant for me to come to me, and whatever isn't, go away. You know, if you're not supporting me, right? Like if somebody was to say, oh, I think that oracle cards are the stupidest thing ever, I don't agree with it, I think, you know, whatever, and they were just like really, really harsh about it and really rude about it, then I'd be like, well, you don't need to be in my life then. Like, you clearly have different belief system than I do. And, you know, why would I want that toxic energy around me, stagnating any possible flow of goodness that could come my way? Don't want that. You're so welcome, Tanya. Right? Sometimes we evolve at different rates than anybody else does. So this is for you, Linda. This is your card, my dear. Right? We evolve. I was in a relationship. So let's talk. I'm 47, turning almost 48. I've had 3 long-term relationships in my life. And then, you know, like, I can't even really call anyone else a relationship. It was more of just like random dating. Most of the time I was in a relationship because, you know, we're hardwired to look for relationships. And I also had a lot of trauma that I needed to work out. And I just kept attracting guys that made me feel bad about myself, so that I'd start to learn to feel good about myself and heal. But one of my relationships was 13 years. My one relationship was 6 and the other was 8, right? Because I was in a relationship from the time I was 16. And you probably know within the first 2 years that relationship is doomed. Right? You pretty much know. For 13, like, I knew, like, after 2 years, within 2 years, we all know whether our relationship really is for us or not for us. But we just don't give up. We're like, no, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep, you know, I'm going to keep, I believe in this. I believe in us. The good that's there. Oh, I'm going to hold on to that good. I'm going to keep holding on to it, because that good, oh my gosh, we can make it work. He's going to grow. He's going to change. I'm going to do a little better. I'll change myself. I really will like sports. I really will like that. You know, we do all these things. They're going to change. They'll be better. They'll see me. They'll understand me. They'll love me the way that I'm supposed to be loved. Right? And then after 8 years, we're like, man, they didn't listen. Now look at all the lessons I've learned. Just, why do I have to be so stubborn? It's basically what it gets down to, is why do I have to be so stubborn? So, a change in the wind, number 12. Change in the wind. So the stronger that you are, the more stubborn that you are, the harder the lessons you're going to go through to learn, because you really, like, it'll be a little knock, 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 and like, and then it'll be like knock, 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 and you're like, and then it'll come along and it'll like shake your whole world, and you're like, okay, I'm hearing it, I got it now, I'll listen. Hi. Oh, you're so welcome, Betty. Oh, very sweet. I'm going to hide these messages that popped up. Right? But I'm going to prove it wrong. We don't want to give up all the time. And there is, there is definitely people change, but you'll see that in the other person, right? You'll see them actually working and trying and doing stuff to improve. But if you're growing and you're changing and you're going at like a 100, love you too, back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But if you're going through it and you're seeing yourself, like say you're working on your mental health, or you've got drive and ambition, and like you're seeing them and they're like just sitting there, just like not doing anything, they're not working on things, you're not seeing any change, then be sure you're not going to see any change, right? Yeah, it's just our lessons take a little while for us to learn, that's all. So Linda, your card number 12, and it's a change in the wind is the card, which I feel is very relevant. So essential meaning, a sense that an unseen change. I did show the card up, right? And let me know if it was in protection mode and I put it down and flipped it, because I could have done that too. I got chatty, so there's a possibility I showed it once and then put it down and flipped it into the normal. But we're going to go with the essential meanings and stuff. So a sense that unseen change has been initiated, preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. I'm sending you so much love, sweetheart. And so much, like seriously, can we I don't know what we could do on TikTok, but like, I mean, giving me likes isn't going to do anything. But is there anything that we can do to give some love and to give, really, really cheers, Amanda, because that's huge. Congratulations on that. It takes a lot of work. It really does. So lots of love to you, Amanda. Yay. Yay. I love it. It's a celebration train. Yay. Okay, Linda, back to you. So sorry. Feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. We even have a train going on here too, Amanda. There's a cheers train going on here. So 1 year sober. Just huge props, woman, props. So the Oracle's message: it's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one guarantee is change. Now is a time of transformation, as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. Relationship message. Relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other, and stormy emotions and moods threaten to take down the ship. Perhaps someone has a change of heart and leaves. These rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart and to know what you need to truly be happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come of it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from the drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. And for prosperity, as you endeavor to create a prosperous life, you may encounter unexpected reversals that cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there is nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you've pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All will be well, even better, actually. Just trust. Okay. No. I'm so happy that you did. Literally just so happy. And that makes see how that comes back to us, that you being happy, that we made you happy. Like, it's just a circle of happiness here. All the love, no interruption at all. Our fears always stop us, right? Our little child self that was hurt, that was, that we have that victim that came to us from a real space. It's not, when people say stop being in victim mode, it's not because we don't recognize that there was a time and space when we actually were a victim, and that's how we acquired the hurt that we acquired, right? And why we put in all those protective measures, like thinking in black and white. It was very easy when you're in an abusive home environment to be like, yeah, it's black and white. You're either right or you're wrong. You're either getting love or you're getting a beating. Like it's one way or the other. It's, it's fairly cut and dry. So you have those perspectives to protect yourself, right? And that we do our future based on our past experiences and what's happened to us. So if I have been in multiple sexual assault situations, right? So let's say when I got kidnapped, let's say that happened, I was wearing a specific outfit, I was in a specific location, I was doing a specific behavior. And, like I would look at all of those things, because that's all I have control over is me, right? So, but I would look at it and be like, okay, what was I wearing? Where was I? What was I doing that created this situation for me? And then I'd be afraid to do those things again. I would be afraid to be in that space. I would be afraid to wear that dress that way. I would be afraid to go in that environment and behave in that nature. So it would hold me back, right? But it's not you. That's where we get it backwards. It's because it's not us that did the wrong deed, right? Especially when using the example of sexual assault, like I'm using, right? For me, it was never my fault that I got kidnapped. I didn't do anything to get kidnapped. I didn't bring that upon myself, right? There's a bad person that did that to me, and they take all the blame and responsibility, right? I don't take any there. What I need is to recognize that I need love, kindness, compassion, and I need to create safety within myself again because of what happened, right? And I have to tell that scared little voice that it's okay, that it is okay. And it definitely was not your fault. It was never your fault, right? But we blame ourselves, and we apply the guilt to ourselves, and we feel shame, right? We feel shame and blame and guilt and all of those things when you didn't do anything wrong. That happened to you. You didn't ask for it. You didn't do anything to put yourself in that position, right? Sometimes people are just bad people and do bad things, and you took the brunt of what those bad people did. That's it. That moment that happened, you were victimized. But out of that being victimized, oftentimes we go forward and we keep being victims in our life, thinking that we have no control and that everything's just happening to us, right? So we create that cycle, unfortunately. And we all do. It's human nature, right? The past experiences, especially when they're very scary and traumatic, they totally change us. They shape us into scared people who, think that we don't have control, right? Things like that. So after Linda, Amy's card. And then after Amy is Jenny, then Isla, Carol, Desiree, Tracy. That's the order that I have them in right now, right? Yeah. I mean, I think about it, and this, can be really, really hard for some people to hear. But, the first time that I was sexually assaulted, I was under 2. Where would I be justified in thinking that 2-year-old did anything to ask for that? Right? And if it wasn't true for me at 2, it wasn't true for me at 15. It wasn't true for me at 20. It wasn't true for any of us at any age, right? It was never, ever, ever your fault. It wasn't. Okay. Amy. This one here is telling me that's for Amy. Amy, go the distance, love. Number 47. I like it. Let's see what our message is from number 47. Maybe we'll all get some lesson out of it. Sometimes there's a message for all of us, hidden in plain sight even. So the essential meaning: endurance, strength, the long haul. The oracle's message: to bring your dream to... Oh, wait. pause. Because I knew it was getting cold, and it's like just on the fringe of, I'm going to take another sip because it's just going to get colder from this point. Perfect. Now if I lose it, at least it's less than half of the cup that goes cold. So to bring your dream to life, you must think long-term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Hello, Gloria, and hi from Toronto, and hi, Virgo. You got cut off. I'm a Virgo moon. I talk about that's the perfectionist and overthinker and service-based and organized part of me, because Sagittarius, not so organized. So it's a battle. It's a struggle. So for Amy, I can put you on the list. I haven't done you yet, Carol. You're in luck. I haven't done you yet, Carol. Hi, Alan. Toronto, nice. I'm in down by Rice Lake. So Angel, I can put you on the list, and Helen. Okay. You're going to have to wait, Angela, because you're down, and I got to put the A on the name, but it'll be a little bit. Okay. Amanda, I'll put you on the list too. All right. Just this little pause, and then we'll get back to it. And I have to put a line so I know where I am. So back to Amy. Relationship message. You either are in or calling in a harmonious relationship that could stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you're being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? You're next, Jenny. Prosperity message. Your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long-term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. Good message for you, Amy. Nice. Look at us all, a whole bunch of us from Ontario. I know, right? I think that that's the good thing about the cards, and when we do this is because we do get messages throughout the other cards that apply to us as well, especially when I ramble on in my little ramblings. Then we get some other messages for sure. Okay, Jenny, this one's for you. And those other things that we get in the messages are called Cledons. Dawson Creek, BC. Nice. I lived in BC for about 10 years of my life, but not Dawson's Creek. So for Jenny, your card is the Thinker, right? Number 44, the Thinker. And it's 4.2, 14, 44, and then 44. Lots of fours right now. It's the fours. So 44, Thinker. Calgary. I just moved from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. So about 3.5-4 hours from where you're at, Angela. Thinker, essential meaning, strategy, being analytical and logical. The Oracle's message. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct. For in this moment, there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. Oh, nice. Nice. Relationship message. Love is not logical. Oh, I can put you down there, Amanda. And it'll be interesting because there's two Amandas at like one back to back. So just remember, it'll be your second. It'll be the second Amanda when I get to that point. Awesome. So the relationship, love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it's good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. Is there enough common ground? If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. That's meeting them where they're at, right? Like we tend to meet people at the expectation of where we think they could get to. Like we do meet them where they're at, but unfortunately, most of us don't feel secure enough in ourselves to show up and say, this is me, I like this, and I don't like that, and this is what I want, and this is, this is who I am inherently. Instead, we walk up and we meet and everybody's like, well, what do you like? I like this. Yeah, me too. And what do you like? Well, I like this. Yeah, me too. And you just try to be so much alike each other. And you just try to, I'm going to attract him because yes, I love sports. Yes, I love drinking beer and eating tacos, and video games don't bother me at all. And then you get them home and you're like, I don't want you playing a freaking video game all the time. Like, I didn't think it was going to be every day. So then you want them to change, right? But we have to just be like, okay, they're showing us who they are. They're showing us that, they like this type of lifestyle, and that's probably how they're always going to be. If we force them to change, they'll present us. If they change of their own free will, then that's fine. If we change together, it's good. But just, look for the signs that there's a potential for change, right? Look for that possibility for change. But if they show up how they are, just accept that that's who they are, and they're probably not going to change, and save yourself the time, right? If they don't align, if they have the same values, morals, ethics, and there's differences in smaller things, then that's one thing. But if there's differences, like really inherent differences at the core, right? Like I know my one girlfriend, she ended up getting married, and before they got married, he was like, yeah, I'm open to having kids and stuff. And then after they got married, he said, I don't want kids ever. Like firm, hard, no. So now she's stuck in that. What do I want more? My husband and my partner, or my child, like to have a child with somebody, because he's never going to change. And every now and then he whiffle waffles, but underlying, he's who he is. He does not want kids. So he's never going to want kids. So if that's something that's inherently valuable to you, or that's a big thing. That's not like, I like it when all my stuff's facing the same way. Like, that's not like I'm going to get annoyed because he doesn't put them in the right spot thing. This is a baby. Like, this is a whole life. Like, that's a huge thing for somebody to want. And then to find out that the other person's like, right. And I've talked to her about that. And I'm like, I wouldn't be okay with that, because I would feel like I was duped. That's something you didn't want, and you knew I wanted. You should have been very clear about that way before we got married. But anyway, off of that, that's what we mean by meet them where they're at, right? And be honest, right? Be honest in coming up for it. So take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So prosperity message. Calculated action is called for now. It's important to sit down and plan a strategy. Focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. Lists are your friends now. So get out your journal. Write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategic partner is spirit. You will win this game, and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. Right. And that is horrible. I agree with you, Amanda. I was like, I'm not cool with your boy now. I'm not cool with him at all. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's a pretty big thing to hide from somebody. Okay. So the next one after Jenny is Isla. I hope you're still here, friend. The protection ones are so much quicker to read because when I read them in the upright position, I give the essential meaning and then relationship and prosperity messages. Whereas in the protection message, I just jump to the protection message. I usually read the essential meaning and then the oracle's message, so you see what it would be if it was in the upright position, just as an essential, and then I read the protection. But because I have quite a few people wanting cards today, I've been just skipping past reading the whole message when it's in the protection. It's somewhere in this range. I feel like it's this dude that's hiding here. Oh, see, so because from Germany. Guten Tag, good day, right? Guten Tag. I know very little. I know little bits of a bunch of different languages, and most of the time I can say hi. You have an awesome day too, Jenny. Much love to you. And 9 a.m. every day, unless it's like I get bumped a little bit later or a little bit earlier because of education. But for the most part, consistently 9 a.m. every day, Eastern time, I'm live here doing the same thing. Guten Tag, yes. Okay, so your card, Isla, is TikTok in protection state. So let's see what the protection message is for number 30. I know we read TikTok already today, but let's read it a little bit again. Timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The protection message. Have you been feeling as if the clock is ticking and gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There is nothing to fear. You will never run out of time for the important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You're in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine, appropriate timing. You can relax. So, Isla, really what that's saying for you is whatever you're wanting to come to you, whatever you're hoping for, whether that's a good relationship, whether that's, prosperity, whether you've been dreaming about a job or you've been trying to manifest something, whatever it is, it's going to come to you. It's just in divine timing. So you won't know when it's going to get there, but at some point it will. It is coming. Is coming. Whatever you're looking for is coming, which was the same message for Krista. All right. I have Carol and then Desiree. Thanks for hanging on, guys. Got quite a few people here. You're welcome. Love to you, Isla. I was going to learn a little bit of, was going to learn German because I had my one partner was German. And it was always something that we said we were going to try to do, but never ended up working. So now I'm just learning Spanish. So I can say a little bit of Spanish. I used to work as a flight nurse and traveled around the world. So I would make it my point to learn a little bit of small stuff. You have a great day too, Amy. Love you. I threw that card way far away. But I always made it a point to learn a little bit of language, so I could say hello and stuff like that. And now I can say "Donde está el baño?" in Spanish. Where's the bathroom? Donde está el bathroom? Sorry, donde está el baño? Right. After trying to say where's the bathroom, good luck for sure. But I would learn that. So ni hao for hello in Chinese. This one here, Carol, happy number 26. You put a line in so I know where I am now. Cross them out. All right, Carol, and then Desiree. Happy number 26. So I think we all know the essential meanings: joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. The oracle's message: your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. The relationship message. There are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with and know that your heart is wide open. To befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. That's how we're supposed to care and love for others, is not with the expectation of what we're going to get in return, right? The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship, and if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself like bees to honey. Prosperity. This is a time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work, providing exceptional service, and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you have done? Remember your partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known that you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. And that's for all of us. Oh, wonderful. Love you. Right. I think I really need to get into recording, like reading books and recording it. It could be a really good side gig for me because people have told me before that I have a good voice for reading and stuff. So who knows? Side gig time. Read bedtime stories. Once upon a time in a land far, far away, there was a sleepy boy. Actually, I write books, so I should probably just write my own books and read them. I went through, like, because I used to write kids books, so I have a bunch of like what are they called? Oh, it's their transcripts, I guess, of stories. This is for Desiree, by the way, just to keep us straight on which one we're on. Desiree's. But I sent them out to a few publishers to see about getting published. And by a few, I literally sent them out one book to each and like 3 different publishers, and then didn't get published, which the children's book market is like hugely competitive. I mean, if I was Fergie, or if I was Oprah, or if I was Obama, like I could get a book deal no problem, but I'm just Tanya. So I have to work real hard with a whole bunch of other people to get the limited spots for books. But now with the whole like self-publishing and things, I think that I should, and then I'll read them, I'll record them, and then, like, that'll be even cooler. All right. So Desiree, number 51, Milk and Honey. I like Milk and Honey. It's a good card. It's a really good card. All righty. So the essential meaning, Desiree, the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. Thank you so much. The Oracle's message. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are giving the gift of nourishment in every form. So, relationship message. Sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among friends and family are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you will be nourished with the honey of abundance. The prosperity message. There is only one authentic you. The version of yourself is spirit's emissary to the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are the unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Hello, good morning. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. That's a beautiful. I love when milk and honey, or when milk and honey comes up. Like, it's just such a beautiful card, and it does speak of and being authentically you. Like, this is the key under this one, right? You have to be authentically you, right? Aww, yay! I think it really, really does bode for, like, that's a perfect, beautiful message. You're in the land of milk and honey, and you just got married and all of that. Bought a new home. That's so cool. I'm so happy for you. We could do a cheers chain for that too, right? That's really good, having those wonderful good things in your life, right? You're welcome. I'm so happy for you. And if the 94 is the year of birth, you're old enough to be you're young enough to be my child, because I have a son born in 94. Just makes me feel beautiful. I'm kidding. I've actually no problem with my age, because I think of myself as ageless. My body has cycled the earth 47 years now, but my spirit is eternal. And because it's eternal, that means that this is just a teeny little tiny fraction of the amount of time that my spirit is alive. So I'm really young, just super young, just a little baby in time. So now it's Tracy. Tracy. We want that one right there. Oh, we had this card already today, but go the distance, number 47. So this is, good card as well, but get to the number of it, 47. Go the distance, the distance, endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long-term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. We actually, I don't know why we fear pain so much, right? Like, experiencing it. When we have the experience, we push against that, oh my God, something bad's happened, right? And we don't, I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to cry. I don't want to feel that hurt. But if you feel the hurt and let it go, then you don't continue to feel it. But we rather feel it pushing on us over and over and over and over and over again throughout our life, rather than just deal with it all at once and be done with it, move on. But anyway, so just go with the flow, with the waves. Feel the pain, feel to heal. That's my other thing, is feel to heal, right? And then embrace and move on to the next experience, the next lesson. Learn, grow, feel, heal, learn, grow, feel, heal, do all of that. And that's life. That's the beautiful mess that life is. But as we learn to be more and more authentically ourselves and stand up for ourselves and love ourselves and treasure ourselves individually, and then we'll attract all of that level of stuff to us as well. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So you are either, and I think Tracy was on this one here, on one of the Facebook, or maybe. We've had a lot of comments. I appreciate that, ladies. I do know I saw Tracy on one of them, but I was just hoping that she was still there to hear the message. But you're either in or calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are made new and remade in new growth. Get it together, Tanya. Harmony does not mean that there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? Prosperity. Your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long-term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts and ideas and hard work can now lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. So that's a really, really good message for you, Tracy. So the next one is Angela, then Helen, then Amanda on TikTok, then Amanda on Facebook, and then we can do Birdie or Lindsay. Okay, we'll put Lindsay down. Perfect. Good morning, Amy. How are you, love? How is Nova Scotia today? We got a whole bunch of dumping of snow in Ontario between yesterday and today. It just stopped snowing and the sun came out, and I had this beautiful, like, I wanted to just run outside and be like, yes, the sun's out for a minute. Because that's, that's me. Look at the sun. Go get some sunshine. But it's back to being, kind of gray out there now. So there's no rush to go for a walk. We got time. So Angela, snowplow is going by, cleaning off the roads. No snow yet. It's coming, girlfriend. It's coming. All right. Yeah, Angela, I pulled you higher power. So higher power in protection. Okay. Number 4. And I'm feeling a little tickle, so I'll drink some cold coffee now. I like that. Shh. I know, right? We know it's coming, but we don't want to acknowledge that it's coming. We just let's not talk about it till it's here, right? Don't call it any sooner than it has to. All right. So higher power, Angela. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. The protection message. Now is the time to examine what you are giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind. If you're obsessing about being right, about old resentments or failed expectations, about money, or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. But you want spirit to be your source. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There is no greater source than spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that they will be taken care of. You are in good hands. Right? If we're giving attention to like negativity, right? Like if we're consuming ourselves, like that's why we should turn off the TV and not watch like the news, right? The news is such a negative, fear-based set of information, right? They've shown that it's propaganda, and it all depends on who owns the station as to what the information is and how it's going to be biased and how it's going to be shared. But most of the stuff that we see within the news and media is fear-based, and it's done in order to, we are easier to be controlled when we're in a fear state of mind. So if you're giving your energy to those fear-based things, or you're outward focused, right? So I use that within a relationship. For me, because I had the anxious attachment, I had my worth in the other people, right? So I thought I was lovable because I had a partner, but I didn't, if I was going to lose that partner, I clung really tightly to it, no matter how bad the relationship was. I clung to it really hard, because if I wasn't in a relationship, where was my worth? Where was I lovable? Right? So that's, because I held on to that, I kept realigning with relationships that showed me how little worth that I had in myself, because they confirmed it and showed it back to me, right? Our relationships are a mirror of that. So if you're giving your energy to the wrong sources, and then what's going to show up in your life is going to be more negative or even toxic, right? But if you're leaning into, your authentic self and your highest self, which I think your highest self is the actual most authentic version of you, right? It's you in the purest, most amazing, beautiful, loving way, right? So if you look towards yourself, look into yourself and focus on you and what is important to you and love yourself the most, then, your life's just going to just be amazing. Just be amazing. Okay. Helen. Hello, Helen. You're back. Right on time. Observer. Number 49 is the card that I pulled for Helen. You're welcome, Angela. Number 49. And I don't know if you had a specific question. If you did have a specific question, I can always look at the card and how it related to a specific question and maybe, intuit something for you with it. But as it stands, that's the protection message for that card. So I hope that it gave you something. So Helen, the essential meaning: perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences. So much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is the perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Relationship message. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up. And often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and in others and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. For a prosperity message, it is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. Right. And that's a good message because oftentimes we're so, it's almost like the person that's like, well, I see my partner as being, somebody who's successful, that wears a suit to work, who's, 6 feet tall, he's intelligent, he's whatever, right? Like we have this vision in our mind, or, we think I'm going to, be a famous writer. I'm going to write romance novels, let's say. And you have that in your mind that's how your dream's going to show up. That's how everything's going to show up in your life. And when we pull back and we let go of it having to show up in a specific way, then it's going to show up in the way that it's supposed to show up, as opposed to us trying or waiting and avoiding or missing out because we're stuck on thinking it has to be a specific way, right? Maybe you end up finding out that instead of writing romance novels, you're going to write mysteries, or, and that's, you need to just let go of that. That's not the format for you. Or that relationship. Maybe the guy that's coming in, you think that you want someone that's 6'4", but the guy that you meet is 5'9" and you're 5'8". So he's just like that 1 inch taller than you. It doesn't even matter. Or maybe you meet somebody that's shorter than you, and it doesn't matter because they see you, value you, appreciate you, love you, and, you know, are going to make you feel like the most beautiful, wonderful person in the whole world. But a lot of times it's just letting go of how we think it has to show up so that it can just show up the way that it needs, that it's supposed to. So that's kind of what I see with that observer message. Hello, all adult Canada, 007. There we go. Hello. Okay, so after Helen is Amanda over here, then Amanda over here, okay? And then Lindsay. Okay, so Amanda. We don't pick up cards that drop because I actually intuit the card. I feel for the card that resonates, or a lot of, and energetically, it feels to me like the card that needs to be pulled. So the first thing when I'm shuffling the cards, I'm thinking about the person that I'm shuffling the cards for. So in this case, I'm thinking Amanda, the Amanda that requested a card on TikTok. So I just think about Amanda and what is the message from Spirit. And then I shuffle the cards as I'm thinking about that. What is the message from God, Spirit, higher power, source? And then when I tend to fan the cards out, and then there's something pulls me energetically, or I'll feel like a raise in vibrational energy that makes me pull the card. The card that I pulled for you, Amanda, is Orphaned. Number 5. Okay. So this message can sometimes be a tough message. I know this card is one of those, like one of the sadder cards in the deck for sure. So number 5, a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. We are all meant to have connections with other people within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize that being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is your need to find where you fit in. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of the pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. No, the morning one, I just do a free card pull. It's time to move on. I will be doing I will be going on TikTok at different times where I will be doing, like, you know, if you want a card to give gifts or whatever at some point. But right now I do lives 9 a.m. every day. And on those 9 a.m. lives, I do a collective reading. Then after that, I open it up for free card pulls, and I do it for as long as I feel doing it. Anywhere from an hour to the one session I went for 3 hours last Sunday. I don't think I'm going to go as long this Sunday, but only because I have to pee already. So I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to cut out for that. Hi, Kyla. Yeah, I can put a card down for you if you'd like. And we'll, there. Perfect. Okay. Back to the message for Amanda. So we can finish it, and Kenzie as well. And it might be after those two that I shut it down. Okay, so relationship message. And that's the thing that I love that you came on with that message, because like I know that this is a message that you need to hear, right? And I think that this is amazing, because not everyone is going to understand you, and not everyone is meant to be in your world. And as you lean into the true you're going to find a lot of shifts and a lot of changes going on in your life right now, because when we start healing, we outpace those other people that we were tied to, right? And especially if you've had a life where there's been addiction, because you definitely have to let go of those friends that you associate, like all of your associations, you have to let go of them, because they can be re-triggering for that addiction. right? So we have to let go of those environments. And it's really hard in that, in that state of becoming yourself, of healing and evolving, because there is that transition between the old and the new. But now that you're becoming you, and you're holding yourself and loving yourself, and standing in who you are, you're going to start calling in people that are going to resonate with the new you, that are going to stand up to be that, those positive influences in your life, who just love you. Right? So in a relationship message, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you are in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the right direction of those who accept you as you are, without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. And in prosperity, this card reminds you that you can't be all things to all people. You're not going to be popular with everyone, and that has to be okay with you. Be clear about your mission, your brand, your work persona, and your contribution to the world, as these must be based on what you authentically have to offer, not something you think will sell or you perceive they may want. You will attract abundance by being completely yourself. Stay in your own lane. That's where you will shine, and where you'll experience prosperity, right? So if it's hard right now, it's not going to stay that way. The more that, and I went through the same thing with that whole healing journey, and people definitely don't stay with you. People fall away from you, and they're not meant to stay with you for your journey, because they're not going to contribute to it. Some people, I think, spirit literally rips out of your position, right? Like they just take that person away from you because they know, like, you might not be strong enough to eliminate them. So they spirit finds other ways to get them out of your life. For us, sometimes it's absolutely okay to disappoint people. You have one life. Right? You have a life, and that's the only life that really should matter in your world. And I know that sounds very selfish, and I'm not promoting being selfish, because I know the way that it works, because I've been there, right? I went from being traumatized and having like really bad coping skills, anxiety, depression in a high functioning fashion. I worked myself to, society standards of having that great big title and lots of money and, a great job. But I was burning out because the job itself was toxic. My relationships were toxic, and it was because I was unhealthy too. Once I started healing, the job fell away, but it was replaced with stuff that was so much more filling, so much more fulfilling. The relationships fell apart. And now I'm calling in relationships that are whole and healthy, and where it's based in that authenticity. They see me for who I am. They don't expect anything different, and they're okay with that, showing up that way. And it's interesting when, like I said, there's different types of friends you'll have in your life. Like for me, I have friends who are okay with me talking about, like oracle cards or crystal healing or, trauma talk, stuff like that. They're really okay with hearing about that information, but they're not informed in that. So they're not a participant in the conversation where it's like, I'm going to share something and they're going to contribute back to that, but they will ask questions and be engaged in the conversation. And I love those. I love those friends that are in my life. But I also have friends in my life where they will actually add to the conversation, and they are interested in exactly the same things or similar things, right? So one of my friends, she's really into herbology, and she'll talk about, oh, you should collect those raspberry leaves and make a raspberry tea. It's really good for you. Or like looking at things like pine needle tea or whatever. So we will have that transfer of conversation, which is really good. So just keep staying within yourself, and eventually those relationships that you have that are based on who you really are, yes, they do, right? And I think that a lot of times people get uncomfortable because they don't want to admit where they're at themselves, right? And some people just don't even understand. They're just, I'm safe and secure. I don't have depression. I don't have anxiety. I don't know what you're talking about. And this just doesn't make any sense. Did you break a leg? Do you have a broken bone? Do you need a cast? Because that's all I know, right? But it's when you get into the, people should be making an attempt to understand, like at least make an attempt to understand what you're going through and what you're experiencing, so that they can help you out in some way, right? Anyway, you have a family here, right? You have a family here. Come back anytime. Come back anytime. I'll hold space for you. Okay, Amanda on this one. Amanda Avila. Como esta? I've got to remember them. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. We will lift you up. We will embrace you. I love bringing together, like in my mind, what I'm doing is through my trauma wellness and helping other people heal, I want to create a collective of healers, and which is why in my Facebook group, I called it the Divine Feminine Healing Collective, because I really believe that as I healed, now I have all this knowledge and information on healing that I'm going to share it to help other people heal. And when they heal, they're going to do the same thing, because you want to see that transformation with other people. You want to see them get better and healthy and heal and, fall head over heels in love with themselves, right? So you share that stuff with them. So I'm creating a wave of healers. So by all means, welcome to the collective. Welcome to the collective. It'd be all about the yin energy. I did a reel about that the other day, about that I'm in this yin state. And to be fair, I'm in a balanced state between yin and yang, because it's about balancing the feminine yin and the masculine yang. Before, I was in a very much yang energy of go, 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 consume, create, but in that sense of like climbing the corporate ladder, ambitious, drive, determination, like definitely male toxic, like that male energy. And I wasn't giving enough energy to that female energy of the yin, of being receptive and nurturing and loving and stillness and waiting for things to come to me. I was out grabbing them, going for them in that male energy. And then when I went through my healing thing, I went into that yin state where it was just being very nurturing and loving to myself, and in, more of a setback, a slower pace. Right. And now I'm in the yin yang, like I've moved into where I've incorporated a bit of the yang with the yin. Right. Hi, love. Aw, yes. Right. I don't know who said that, but all right. Amanda Avila, Between Worlds, number 3. So let's see. But yes, if you want to let me know who that was that put that, I got on late, then I'll speak directly to you. But yes, more of the yang energy for sure. There's nothing wrong. Like yang energy creates, right? It makes things, right? Will your 3-peckered billy goat ever find love? I don't know. Is he a loving being? Right? Connie. Aw. Hi, Connie. Nice to see you. It's been a little while. Love to you, friend. All right. So Between Worlds, Amanda. Transitions. Not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. Temporary blindness. No man's land. Hi. Between the worlds is where you must go to let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place between what was and what will be is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is a great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs. Oh, no, that's okay. Thank you for staying and watching as long as you did. Yeah. Love to you, friend. Join me. I'm back. Like I said, I'm back here 9 a.m. every day. So come back and see me, and we'll pull you a card on, I'll pull you a card the next day that you show up. Okay. Love to you, Amy. Have a wonderful call. We'll connect later on for sure. Maybe not today, but later on this week. Okay, back to this. Sorry, squirrels. I have ADHD too, so this is why sometimes this is because I do. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I'll see the sun come out outside. And I'm like, whoa, or a bird. Whoa, look at that. Anyway, back to your message, Amanda. So there is great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. You are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. The relationship message. This is a time to explore the new energy between you and another. It is not a moment for certainty, but rather for discovery and curiosity. You don't yet know if this will last forever, so allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship that is not to be dismissed or hurried. In prosperity. In your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in a new and different arena. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. It's a really, really good message, Amanda. And I mean, I think, that's important for all of us to know that there are lessons and, as long as there's never failure, as long as you learn something from it and you incorporate that what you've learned going forward, you've not lost anything in any situation. So Lindsay, I hope you're still here. Because it's your message. And if Lindsay is not, then we have Kaila, I think is how you say your name, Kaila, and then Kenzie. So if you want to let me know, and hopefully, Amanda, that was relevant to you. Okay. So is Lindsay still on? Because if not, I do see that Betty is, and maybe I'll pull Betty a card right now. Okay, I'm going to just wait a second because I'm not going to pull a card for Kenzie's on. Perfect. Is Lindsay on? All right. So I'm going to pull a card for Betty if she would like. But right now we'll go with Kaila. Is Kaila still there? Nope, Kenzie, that's okay. Kenzie, you're going to actually get the next card because I haven't seen Kaila, and then I'll do Betty right after I do Kenzie, okay? So Kenzie first and then Betty. Hi. I don't know who said hi, but hi to you, Facebook user. I did see it come up, but didn't acknowledge it. So Kenzie. Oh, Kenzie is this one right here. Deep knowing in protection. Okay, that's the card that I pulled for you, Kenzie, which is number 43. Protection message. So 43, intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. Okay, so the protection message. This is for you, Kenzie. You are in empathy overload and need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for recharging your batteries. Set energetic boundaries. Take a salt bath. Empty your head, your mind, and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough, you can let your guard down. Right now, you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? So it's a good message, Kenzie. I think that, a lot of times we spend too much time allowing just anybody into our world, right? We don't say, I don't want that. I don't want to be around that person because energetically they make me feel bad. Or, when I'm around that person, my energy, like I feel really drained. There are energy vampires out there, and you need to be kind of cautious about who you're around. But if you were going around somebody and they're constantly making you feel small or making you feel stupid or whatever, right? Those are people that you don't need to be around. But, really go into that self-care, rejuvenate, rest, and then recover and come back way better, right? After a little bit of time. It's the season of self-love for you, Kenzie. The season of self-love. So this is for Betty. And I did pull your card, Tracy, but I would have pulled it back quite a bit now. And I don't remember what card I pulled. So if you hopped off the broadcast at some point, the only thing I can suggest is going through it when the recording's finished and pull it up there. You're welcome, Kenzie. So yeah, love yourself. Pour all that love into you, and just be really, really firm with if people are draining you or they're not contributing to you in a positive way. Just don't let them to be around you right now, so that you can really do some deep healing in self-love. All right, so this one is Betty. Okay. Number 20, imagine. And I did pull it in protection state. Okay. So let's see what number 20 is in protection. So imagine, the essential meaning is turning imagination into manifestation. See the sun just brighten. I'm just like, woo! Distraction. Turning imagination into manifestation, creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imagery and feelings, creativity, illusions. So the protection message of this card: illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack have entered your life. Now may be the time to see things as they truly are and not as you hoped or imagined they would be. Release any fear. Then envision anew. Perhaps you are anticipating that something fearful might happen and recreating that image of disaster over and over in your mind. The universe responds to such projections, so be aware of this catastrophizing. No matter what, illusions and awfulizing are a misuse of imagination. Clear the inner slate and stay grounded. Stay real. Only then can you truly have what you desire. So are you in a situation where you're having like a worry track, you're overthinking, thinking about the negative stuff that could happen, have that like almost like overthinking or worrying state of mind? Because that's what that card seems to be talking about, is being in that where you're expecting the worst case to happen, or that worst case outcome, and that's going to bring that about to you, right? What we focus on, we end up creating in our life in some capacity or another, either because we make it happen or we draw that energy towards us from other people. So I used to, when I had an overactive mind, I would create a worry time. What you need to do is figure out the ways to get into the position where you can control your mind, control your thoughts, right? And we can do that. That's what the exercise of meditation is all about, is getting yourself to start exercising control over the thoughts that are going in your head, so that you're not taking every thought and just running with it, right? So with meditation, if a thought comes in and it says, like, oh, I don't know I don't know how I'm doing at my job, or I'm worried about losing my job, that thought comes in, typically we'd go, I'm worried about losing my job, and you start thinking about like and going down that rabbit hole, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, I mean, I think I might get fired. I don't know what I was doing yesterday, but I don't think I did a good enough job. I think I saw my boss look at me in this weird way, and it cascades, right? It just keeps going and going. That mindset, right? That worry track. So you want to get your mind out of that worry track, right? So I started with, one, giving myself a worry time. And when I started worrying, as soon as you catch yourself on that worry track of thought, you're going to tell yourself, this is not the time to worry. I've set aside this particular time to worry, and you put it in your calendar or whatever, you mark it down. At Tuesday at 2:00 is my worry time. And then if you worry on Thursday, you're like, now's not the time to worry. I can worry at 2:00 on Tuesday, and I can worry for an entire hour. And you sit down on Tuesday, and if you want, you can write it all out, everything that you're worrying about, or just spend that time just actually thinking about everything that you've thought about that you can worry about, and just get it out at that moment. You probably won't use the entire hour. When we're in meditation, however, I realized I went sidetracked, but with the meditation, when we get those thoughts, meditation is stopping it at just that. I'm worried about my job. Okay. We'll think about that later and move it away, right? We don't focus on the thought and continue with another thought and another thought and another thought, right? So if you're sitting there in meditation and you're like, I'm giving this time to myself. Like, I am saying that this is time for me to have peace in my mind and stillness in my body. This is what I'm doing. I'm giving myself this time. And a thought comes into your head. You're just like, okay, noted, and let it go on by. Maybe I'll sit it aside. Okay, so if you're, remember, you have this appointment at such and such a time. Noted. After I'm done my meditation, I can be like, okay, remember, you have that appointment at this time. Maybe write it down or make sure it's in your calendar, right? Or if that thought comes up of, like I need to be making money. I need to be making money. Everybody needs to make money to live, right? Like nobody's getting, a free ride, or we shouldn't be getting a free ride, right? So I need money to live. So if I start thinking about that while I'm having my meditation, I'm just going to put it away. Right. And I can think about that afterwards. Okay. What am I doing? What am I outputting? How can I work these things? Right. That's a Cledon. It's coming to you. It's coming to you in the best and easiest way that it could come to you. It's just, you just showed up in time. That was a message for you that came in a way that you weren't expecting. You're Cledon. So yeah, so I think that I'm going to hop off now, but I really appreciate everybody that joined me and that took part in this live. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and I'll go for at least an hour, but up to an hour and a half, 2 hours. It all depends. I just let you guys kind of dictate the show. If someone was, desperately wanting to have a card pull, then I stay on a little bit longer. Or if I get a big list like I did today, I'll stay a little bit longer. But I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and definitely show back up again. I love seeing my repeats coming back and being able to say hello to everybody. But I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Much love. Much love. After it's on here, it's going to be a Spotify broadcast as well. So you can always catch the replay in audio format. There's my mouse so we can end the broadcast. Okay, bye everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday.